Players to pass all my classes, get the work done, homework. She made sure I did all that. Then when I come in the court, it changed my life. Like from going from a kid to a man. That's how my life changed around.
You might have gone along and then gotten in trouble.
Yeah, I'd have probably dropped out of school by now.
Yeah.
I'd have probably dropped out of school. Probably in jail somewhere.
When I first got him, he was very emotional, and he still is. That's why I think he's so aggressive. And by joining the team, he had a way of venting all that emotion and that aggressiveness, and he puts it all in his basketball game, which you see.
In November 1987, Debbie McIntosh was the only woman coach of a boys basketball team in New York City. And she's the first woman coach ever to have a winning team enter the city playoffs. The day of the first playoff game, it didn't start off with much promise.
You are 20 minutes late.
On the bus ride into Manhattan, Debbie started preparing the team for the game ahead. First, she passed out a nutrient drink called Exceed. Then she talked to the players and told each one what his job was that day.
Yes, you'll get your 15, 16, you might even get 20 points, and you'll get your 20 points if you do what? Rebound. That's your job today. Okay?
But 60 blocks away from the site of the game, the bus had a flat tire.
Ask the bus driver if he'll take us. Wait.
Although the city bus driver was willing to take the team uptown, no one had change to pay the fares. People on the bus opened their wallets to try to get the team to the gym on time. For the team, it was an adventure. They arrived at the gym only 20 minutes before the game. Nerves were evident. It was the first time many on the team had ever been to a playoff game, and certainly the first playoff game for their coach. During the first half, the team made a lot of errors. But by the halftime buzzer, they were only 5 points behind.
You've got to crash those boards, and you're not doing it. You're not doing it. I have to put height out there. You've got to crash the boards.
As good outfits are supposed to do, the team came back from halftime revitalized and proceeded to blow the opposition off the court. Final, Prospect Heights 102, Julia Richmond 87. If I took a secret poll, secret ballots, who's the star in the team?
We all.
I don't have one superstar on that team, and I refuse to put anyone on my team that has that kind of attitude. Just in the game we played Saturday, 6 of them were in double figures, and that just tells you they like to pass the ball. That's something to just be proud of right there.
1, 2, 3,
Family. That's a key word for the team. When they're describing Debbie, it sometimes sounds suspiciously close to a description of a mother. But when you question the players...
She's like a big sister. Because she don't want us to be calling her mother. Yeah. She's like to be a big sister.
Well, she's not that old enough to be your mother, isn't she?
Yeah, she is old enough to be our mother.
Basically, a big sister because I really care. They'll tell me things that they might not be able to tell another adult. I intervene sometimes, I call Mom and let her know about the fact that I know they're not eating breakfast or that they failed math, and she should check and make sure they do their math homework, every night.
And Debbie does keep track of the players. In one afternoon, she added a special writing class for one and some gym credits for another. But some things Debbie can't change, like the juvenile records some of the players carry.
That happened to them when they were either in elementary school or junior high school. Most of them were on their last couple of months of probation. And if anything, we've kept them out of trouble by making them work their tails off here.
But the practice sessions aren't all work, no play. Debbie also makes it fun.
All right, time out. Everybody. A snicker to everybody who dunks. If Roy dunks, he gets a card. Ready?
Debbie ends each practice by gathering the team together. On this day, She talked to them about one of their heroes, Carl Malone, who plays for the Utah Jazz. Specifically, the role Malone's mother played in his success.
She used to stand there like this, like a hoop, and he used to use her as a backboard. God, what a mother that had to be, to stand in the backyard and let a guy throw a ball through her arms for 3 hours. Anytime you have the opportunity to either go in the park or get up early and go shoot where there's nobody else around, take 300 to 500 jump shots a day.
What does Ms. Mack expect of you?
She want hard work, determination, discipline, and give us some respect.
She want us to be somebody in the future. That's all. So that's what we got to respect her because of that. Because she wants something good for our future.
Something other than basketball.
Yeah, other than basketball, you know.
I want nothing more than for those who are good enough, getting them into a good college, seeing that they graduate. I mean, it's like a family. They leave home, they're still your responsibility. And they will be my responsibility. They'll probably be my responsibility till the day I retire, and probably even after that. But that's okay.
She laughs, but she means it. Roy remembers when he let his grades slip once.
She wouldn't talk to me.
Did you?
Yeah, she wouldn't talk to me until I got my grades up. She called my mother.
Yeah, she did.
So I made sure my grades stay up.
Even at this pizza party in the middle of the city playoffs, Debbie put two of the players on the spot about a test they had taken that week.
How come you couldn't get 5 points out of 20?
Because it's only one question you answer it with. There's no
What
5
was
points
the
out the
question?
question.
What was the question?
I don't know, I forgot the question. Charles,
Charles got it wrong too. Don't do it again, because next time I'm gonna slap you upside your head. Some of these kids wouldn't be able to go to school if it wasn't for a package of financial aid and scholarship. And the big thing is these kids are good enough. They're bright enough. They've got good enough character.
And they play pretty good basketball. So says Mike George. He ought to know. He covers high school sports for the New York Post. We asked him if the other coaches, the men, resent Debbie McIntosh.
I think there's a little bit of resentment, especially because she's doing so well. I mean, she's going out and basically beating the butts off a lot of coaches who probably didn't think she should have the job.
Right from the start, Ms. McIntosh seemed to get along with the players.
Yes.
Why do you think? What's her secret?
I think she has genuine care and concern for the kids.
Is that unusual in basketball coaches?
You have a lot of coaches who care, but maybe not as much as Debbie McIntosh.
Watch. This is Debbie going into the locker room to talk to the team following a winning basketball game. You like the kids, don't you?
Yeah, I love them.
Not everybody likes all kids.
No, definitely. Some of them I don't like all the time. I told you to cut it out, all right? I do not want to start this game with 2 texts.
The semifinals, just a game away from the city championship. In years past, Prospect Heights had gotten to the semifinals, but they'd never won. Miss Mack and her team felt a win here would validate their season, that people wouldn't be able to say they'd just been lucky. But first, they had to win the game. It was close all the way, and the last quarter started neck and neck. With 3 minutes to go, Prospect Heights had fallen behind.
Come here. You cannot fall asleep now. You cannot fall asleep now, right? You gotta make these. You gotta make these. Jump on the defense, no fouls, get the ball back and go.
Hands up, rebound!
Prospect Heights struggled back, but with 29 seconds on the clock, they were still 1 point behind. The bench was going wild. Miss Mack was looking worried. With a little teamwork, Prospect Heights pulled ahead. But there was still 15 seconds to go, and the ball belonged to the competition. A steal, a foul, and a missed foul shot later, the game belonged to Prospect Heights. And for the very first time, Prospect Heights would play for the city championship. Well, they played for the city championship, and they lost. But most of the team is back, with their eye this time on winning the state championship.
From LaGuardia Airport through the streets of Brooklyn, the mailman's appointed duty this day is of a highly personal, highly rewarding nature in the rough-and-tumble Crown Heights section. Destination, Prospect Heights High School.
It's what it's all about to me. Forget about the slam dunks and things like that. This is my high for my whole career right here.
Last winter, 60 Minutes came out here to Prospect Heights High School to tell the remarkable tale of Debbie McIntosh, the only woman in all of New York City coaching a boys' varsity basketball team. When the piece aired last month, Malone saw how she had used his remarkable success story to motivate her players. And he was so touched, he decided the next time he was in town, he'd come by and make a special delivery in person. Once the applause died down, Malone's message was loud and clear.
My concern now is definitely the young people of today, because without you guys and young ladies, and I say you guys because I'm from Louisiana, but without you guys, we're not going to make it.
The kids heard the straight dope. Work hard, play hard, get your education, beware false friends, and the specter of drugs.
My high is on the fast break, getting a pass from John Stockton. That's a high for Karl Malone, okay? My family is a high for me. And that's how I want everybody here to think, okay? Never, ever disappoint your family.
To speak to them and tell them what to do and guide their future, and then be totally impressed with the fact that we honored him like we did, that he's as thrilled as we are. So it worked out beautifully.
The feelings obviously mutual.
Yeah, she could be anywhere else, probably coaching or teaching, and then instead she here, and it take a special kind of person and a special lady to do something like that, and she's just a great girl.
I cared, but I didn't really care all that much. But now that I got Miss McIntosh and I got Karl Malone, now my life is just turned around, big time.
I just wanted to do this just to show appreciation to them that, hey, I'm in your corner and I'm going to be with you for the rest of my career and throughout life. 1, 2, 3, hey! 1, 2, 3, hey!
Malone left to rest up for the night game with the Knicks, but Prospect Heights still had work to do in the afternoon before they could go to the Garden as special guest of the Jazz. Any chance of losing on Karl Malone Day? Forget it.
These kids are too pumped up now. I mean, he pumped them up enough where I feel sorry for the other team.
Tom Kirkland, CNN Sports.
The driving force behind the team is a woman who is one of a kind. Now Rockroat reports the action under the hoops tonight was at the Garden, but some of the real stars were up there in the stands.
To most here at Madison Square Garden, this game between the Jazz and the Knicks was just another ball game. But for this group of high school basketball players, it's a night of special significance, thanks to a very special person. It all began last year when the Prospect Heights varsity basketball team came within one victory of winning the city championship. Quite an accomplishment for any club, but even more so for the Cardinals, who were led by Coach Debbie McIntosh, New York's only female high school basketball coach, in only her third year coaching.
And when I started on the JV job, it was because no one else wanted the job. And once I got hooked with the kids that I was working with, I realized that I'd like to see them all graduate on time, get into college, and we just became a family. You cannot fall asleep now, right? You gotta make these. You gotta make these. Jump on the defense, no fouls, get the ball back, and go.
At the end of the Cardinals season, not only did the New York area know of the team, but so too did the rest of the country, as 60 Minutes gave them national exposure.
Under Debbie McIntosh, in her first year as a varsity coach anywhere, they won every one of their league games.
Come on, move it, Lance.
As is the case with many of the stories on 60 Minutes, the one on the Cardinals made quite an impression, especially on this man, the second leading scorer in the NBA this season, Utah Jazz star forward Karl Malone.
Now low from Malone. He put a good count and he's fouled.
Karl Malone was so impressed that he decided he'd do something special for the team, but a group of autographed pictures just wouldn't do. No, for the man known as the mailman in the NBA, Karl Malone decided to make this special delivery in person.
I was able to be a sheriff for one whole summer. You know, and I said, well, when I used to think about drinking and driving and drugs, I always thought about the older people, you know. But I was there and I had 14, 15-year-old kids in there. And that right there is sort of sad.
He'd probably say, get the same image that everyone else get about our school, that it's bad, it's no good, why bother? But he gave us a chance and we appreciate it.
These guys deserve it because they have turned back adversities and they don't have to be here. They could be walking around out on the street and that's not where it's at. And they chose to come here and work hard. And I think they're going to do really good in life.
This was one day this basketball team wouldn't forget. But the fun wasn't over, because not only had Karl Malone made their day,